in terms of this futurist look. I believe it gives these four kings, these four delegates, a timeless look that reinstates them in the past as these delegates, as these very important political figures, but also in the future.
The canvases of the four kings are at the heart of the new exhibition Rising Suns, presented at the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts. The artists featured were chosen based on their contribution to the history of art and their impact in their local communities.
This is the first time that any museum in Quebec has been able to focus on particularly local practices. This is something that I feel is overdue, this kind of a critical and exhibitionary attention.
The exhibition offers an Indigenous interpretation of the land we live on.
J'aurais jamais cru voir mes ancêtres au musée.
Since last December, Katsi Sanuru Dumoulin-Bush is an intern in Indigenous Arts and Design at Montreal's Museum of Fine Arts. In collaboration with the museum's curator, they have been involved in selecting works and writing texts.
In 1710, this delegation of four people, three Haudenosaunee and one Mohican man, were sent as delegates to the Queen, to Queen Anne, to ask for more military support and support from the British during a war between the French and the English, where different Indigenous nations were supporting different sides.
Queen Anne of Great Britain commissioned the four canvases back in 1710. The Mohawk artist Squawanati revisited the four historical paintings and did a massive reinterpretation.
So Squawanati, as an artist, has done a lot of work in Second Life on this platform, where she makes films or still images called machinimas or machinimagraphs, so sculpted on the computer, and then each skin texture, skin color, tattoo pattern, fabric pattern, even the fur on the animals or the ground has been rendered and chosen. So it's also technically a very, what I would consider, painstaking work to create, especially in Second Life, where there is so much customization available.
Dumoulin-Bush is from Châteauguay. They are French Canadian and Ghanaian-Geha.
Each of these portraits contain a clan animal, and the bear is my personal clan animal, and so I really wanted to have this relation with this work.
Dumoulin-Bush credits her sister, who is an illustrator, to their introduction to the world of Indigenous art.
She ended up painting for me kind of this, in a metaphorical way, a Milky Way, a galaxy of stars consisting of ancestor artists, of artists that I didn't know, whose practices have very much influenced me in the last couple of years.
Filled with gratitude, the title of the exhibition resonates with Dumoulin-Bush. They feel that Indigenous talents, too, are rising and shining.
I feel like this is a unique moment in history where Indigenous communities are able to be self-determinate in what happens to culture, what happens to art, what happens to cultural objects.
In April 2026, the exhibition will be subject to a rotation of works in.
I would hope to see more Indigenous artists represented in this way, and kind of given the highlight and given the emphasis on their careers that might not necessarily have been given in the past. And then by extension, that recognition, that ease of access will be paved for the next generation of Indigenous artists and culture makers.
Rising Sun, art from the confederacies of the Great Lakes and Rivers, is on display at the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts. Stéphanie Desèvres, APTN National News, Montreal.